Ladies and or gentlemen, we are back with the Philippines today. Manuel Quezon, he'll be around for a little bit. Iron Man mode on with historical AI focuses on. You'll notice, yes, I can get achievement. My mod doesn't work, so I've turned it off. Oh well, let's go. So a little bit of a steel jump scare before the video really starts. I'm going to be complaining and whining about a lot of things that have ironically been fixed the day after I finished recording. Most of the stuff has been patched. I'll ask the editor to put up a neat little list of all the Philippines fixes. I'll leave a link down to the patch notes below. I am going to do a lot of complaining about stuff that's no longer relevant. So in all fairness, Mordred, you fixed it. Now back to the video.
Everybody get together. Hang on, I need a tripod. Let me just extend the old third leg. Ooh, yeah, that's stable, baby. Just need to pick a lens. Let's see. Zoom lens. Nope. They live lens. Yeah, so-so. Twilight Zone 1 minute in the future lens. Oh, Calculon's gonna be here. Better get my camera ready.
Just take the damn picture!
Now, the Philippines start in a somewhat rough spot. It's an island nation, which is nice. It has the Great Depression, which is not nice. It has the Philippine Army, and Lord knows I wish it didn't. And there's some classic American interference. But never fear, there is always Manuel Quezon, the nation builder. Now, today, we're going to play the most busted and the second most enjoyable Philippines path, which means we are going Reino de Filipinas. We will make the best Spain you've ever seen. I've done this or tried to do this on stream and it was an absolute disaster. Since then, some things have been patched and most importantly, I had a good night's sleep, some self-reflection, and I promise, gentlemen, I will be calm and collected today. Let's get going. I'll get some engineering and some construction speed because the production stuff really not that impactful. Why? Well, minus 90% factory output. We might as well not have an industry. We are rushing down to Hispanic overtures and a war for independence. If America wants us as a puppet, they're gonna have to fight for it. Convert that into a basic infantry division to get these boys exercising. Construction will build a little bit of infrastructure on the island that has some steel, and then we'll follow up with 2, maybe 3 civs on the same island. We have 12 airplanes that I don't want, and I'm going to sell them to the highest bidder and get me some stuff. And with that, we're now off to the races. The Commonwealth of the Philippines. So from this point forward, we are going to align with Japan, leverage the peso, rebuild the Sagdalistas, and overturn ourselves an election. The build-up to this run is slow as shit, boys. But when it reaches its crescendo, the memes are real, and we are in it for the memes today. I've got more divisions queued up, but with my factories making a single gun per day, you know, wouldn't count on much. Yay, peso leveraged, huzzah, rebuild the Sagdalistas, and then we get ourselves an election overturned. You know, that's what Supreme Courts are for. It worked for Bush. Now, the Philippines aren't really generating a lot of political power. So we're gonna maximize our gains by getting a silent workhorse. This guy sticks around as well, so he's a pretty good pick. Well, there we go. We questioned the election's results. We need to wait for an event to flip us, so I'm gonna quickly encourage Japanese investment. Well, you can always rely on a purchased judiciary to do what you want them to do. Elections overturned. Huzzah! Hispanidad Filipina. This, I don't know if this is incredibly offensive to my Philippine viewers, but I would find it incredibly weird if I were a former colony just trying desperately to be the country that colonized me. And here we have the South Seas Investment Company. It's not bad. Consumer goods reduction and a massive boost to industry research. Alright, Hispanidad Filipina. This allows us to send volunteers to the Spanish Civil War. Why? I don't know. This is historical. The Republicans ain't doing shit, so I'll be sending my boys to the Nationalists. Colin the Hound will do the honors. Now we continue on the revolutionary regrets. We will soldier on. Honestly, considering how shit everything is, I might just buy a couple of guns. Colin, I need you to put up a bit of a show here. I'm not expecting you to do all that much. Just go there, get a little bit of army experience. Speaking of army experience, every gain we have is reduced by 80%. So, hey! Let's get the Royal Exiles. This gives us, okay, more political power, more stability. Okay, great. That's another batch of guns in. All right, 150 political power. Like I said, I want the social reformer for the stability. We definitely want the benefits this yields. Maintain global peace. This is going to incentivize the US to not go to war. And if that works, that is going to be the best exploit I find. Next up, Hispanic overtures, and this will unlock relations with Hispanic nations' decisions. This is where the meme truly begins. Well, Japan's done the thing. Good for them. All right, so I've got a respectable army of 5 divisions who barely have 2 guns between them. We're gonna go War of Independence. I'm really hoping the US doesn't want to start a war. If they do, we will repel them. With the might of the Philippine armies at our back, I will rename all of these after channel members such as Hydra Zone, such as Cullen the Hound. These are the people who allow me to do what I do, and if you want to see yourself on the battlefield and in this manpower pool, feel free to sign up for membership. If not, if you like my videos, if you like this kind of videos, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps out the channel. Trust me, I've seen the numbers. It matters. Now, back to the meme. We have relations with Hispanic nations. This invites them to a treaty of mutual assistance. And if they sign this treaty before we declare our independence, it basically binds them to us as co-belligerents when the Americans do decide to go to war. Let's take Mexico, for instance. If you were to propose the treaty, I have the files here somewhere, I've verified it. The only thing influencing this, that you as the player have any influence over, is getting Mexico's opinion of you over 50. So we're going to improve our relations with the Mexicans. They're very likely to say yes if their opinion is over 50 and they are non-aligned or fascist. Or if they're Cuba. There's a specific carve-out for Cuba in that list. But hey, Mexico signs. Now, you might notice that the date and location on screen are slightly different. I will admit to nothing, but yes, I did save scum this a little bit because I want peak meme today. He's going to be incredibly expensive to improve relations with, but Cuba also has a pretty high chance of saying yes. Are you fucking kidding me? I've spoken to Mordred. He said this was patched. I'm going to assume it is, in fact, patched. It used to be bugged in the preview version where they would always say, fuck off. I'm starting to think by giving them the medium-term goal of not going to war, that the AI is evaluating that and sees, if I do this, I'm gonna have a war goal. If let me go, which is great. Mexico is now also in my faction, so hey, work my way down to Reino de Filipinas and annex them. Yes! So what this does is give us a new name, a new country leader, a new struggle for freedom, and the decision to propose unification with a faction member. Let us consume our new Mexican friends. I am here for the meme, after all. And my timing was impeccable. They've just started the focus that will turn them democratic. Downside is they will no longer be non-aligned, making it more difficult to integrate them. Let's see about the Cubans. Hey, they've signed a mutual assistance treaty. Anyway, we've got 7 of these guys now on our home island. I'm just going to use them for port guarding. What I also need is Navy. I'm going to need more destroyers, you know, just as screens, and I'm gonna need cruisers, both as patrol ships or just to lean into this the light cruiser meme. So I'm gonna start work on some early cruisers. Is this a mistake? Maybe. Will it work out for us? Maybe. I'm not going to use Yokosuka Naval Arsenal, which is probably the good one. I'm going to use the other one, Cavity Naval Base. Mordred, I love you, but stop hiding my research slots. There is 1 research slot here. 105 days for this focus. Then you have to do these 2 focuses, 70 days each, and then you get the research slot. There is another research slot over there, bringing you 4 research slots. It's not the best. So we are going to be crippled by a lack of research. That is a problem. Now, we are going to make it the rest of the world's problem by growing our faction, growing our navy, growing our army, and we will be glorious. And another one bites the dust. Argentina signs the deal. They're now in our faction. So they've gotten a lot of their industry already. So that's pretty cool. And the Argentine Navy is here as well. Behold! Reino de Filipinas! Juan III, the Navy King, is now in charge of our glorious nation. We have a new color, which is suspiciously Japan-colored, but with Juan in charge, we are ready for greatness. We are expanding the faction, the Quezon City campus, so we'll get that research slot. Mafilindo is something I would like to see achieved, but that does mean I have to go to war with the allies. If I do that, yes, I will need big boats. Bigly boats. Alright, for 50 political power, we can now propose unification with Uruguay. If they say yes, we get cores on all of their land, which is, you know, pretty cool. Consume. Uruguay accepts unification. Huzzah! And for the next 120 days, I take a hit to political power, recruital pop, and command power. But I do get their troops, I get their navy, I get their country. And just like that, we are in the money. We've got a bunch of civs now. Now, I do have to say, I like this color a lot more than the Japan flavored pinkish. Also prefer this name, the Glorious Hispanic Empire. Just, you know, wish we had a little bit more land to us. But we'll work our way there. And with the Spanish Civil War over, Cullen has returned home a consummate veteran. Oh boy. You're going to be doing a lot of work for me. As far as the rest is concerned, I'm getting the army sorted out. These are now all glorious channel members. There we go. We can now propose a treaty of mutual assistance with Spain, which we will do. As while I was waiting for that, I've expanded the factions some more. Looking nice, eh? Venezuela, Peru. Got Guatemala in there. What we're gonna grab next is the anti-hacendados. It is December 38. The world's not on fire yet, but it's getting there. And I'm gonna start eating some of my allies. Once we've done that, we can use Mexico as a staging ground to hit the US before they grow too big. Oh my god, they've gotten a lot bigger. 37 mils. Okay, so they are ramping up, but they're still on undisturbed isolation and a disarmed nation. So if we play our cards right, we might just be able to grab them before they get too powerful. What I'm also doing is building a naval engineering facility. I'm also going to grab an aerodynamics facility. Why? It's very simple. The aerodynamics facility leads to radar, and I need radar to get anything else off the ground. After that, it's mills. We need a lot of mills moving forward. And Spain has signed the pact. Well, we've finally gotten the National Defense Act. Let's check out the Philippine Army now. It's a little less bad, so the Navy stuff is all gone. Factory output is at least functional now. Army experience gain is still ass, though. Well, World War II's kicked off, great. And I have expanded my faction with all the usual suspects. And somehow, Mexico just agreed to be annexed despite being democratic. So I'm gonna keep building out the army, lining them up on the American border, and the goal will be to go to war with the USA. Okay guys, it's 1941, and you might notice that I have chickened out. Yeah, as World War II was unfolding, world tensions spiked, and it just wasn't feasible for me to go in with what I had, so I decided to go for plan B. I'm waiting for the Japanese to attack me, so I can kill them. Now, I'm not that well equipped. The home islands are fairly well defended. I've got a massive army, but it's mostly in America. I'll get limited conscription, I'd say, soon. But I do have a navy. Now, it's just a navy. It's 4 battleships, 4 heavy cruisers, and then just an assortment of others. You know, not sure they're gonna do all that well. I've also updated the designs on most of my ships to at least include the best secondary guns and the best fire controls I have, but the ships themselves are still quite shit. I'm just gonna use it to hop to Taiwan, then I'll hop to Okinawa, and then I'll hop to, is it Kyushu? Let's get this upgraded so my ships don't immediately implode. I am working on some Marines. We're improving the Marines, but I have like barely any army experience, so I also need to hire a chief of the army. I'm a little confused here. Japan has just used its war goal and gone to war with the Allies. They have a war goal on me, but they're not using it. They're not attacking me. I'm gonna have to attack them, and if I'm gonna have to attack them, I'm gonna have to attack the German Reich as well, unless I justify on Vietnam. I'm justifying a war goal. We'll do this manually then. The fleet with 69 ships, nice, is about as ready as it's going to get. The main strength I have is going to be coming from these guys, my improved cruisers, which are, I mean, they certainly pack a punch. and I am supplementing them with my torpedo cruisers, who also certainly pack a punch. Hopefully, the fleet I produce will be able to go toe-to-toe with the Japanese. They've even declared on the US, but not on me. Well, we got our war goal. I might as well use it. Oh, it's still gonna bring the Germans and the Italians in. I cannot afford that. But that's gonna lock me into a death struggle with the Axis and the Japanese. I don't want that. I just want to fight Japan. What if I declare war on Siam? You know, that's gonna be another giant waste of time. Giant waste of time, but I don't want to fight the Germans. I cannot stress how much I don't want to fight first the entire Axis and the Japanese at the same time. You know, the Axis I don't really give a shit about, but I will have to defend Spain. And then secondly, after all that is done in 1945, I then have to fight the fucking Allies all on my own as well. I don't want to. Period. I simply do not wish to do this thing. So I will not do this thing. I should have known though. I wish I could just roll back. I wish I could just roll back and oh no, Iron Man. I have to play on Iron Man. Oh, it has to be Iron Man. I'll justify on Isan here. At least I think they'll hold on to that state for a little bit. 130 days. What a giant waste of time that was. Wow, I'm an idiot. It's 1942 and I've done nothing. Okay, Mordred, I love this path. It's incredibly funny. You can get so big and strong. I love that. But please, the pacing is all wrong. Don't make everything take 70 days. It's too long. Now you might say, but you have to make choices. You're not supposed to do the entire focus tree. You have to do all of these or you have no industry. There's no choice. You have. Sorry, I had a little bit of a mental breakdown. So yeah, I'll see you guys in 130 days. I have nothing else to do. Oh, happy days. Why did I not think of this sooner? So I can declare war on Siam. That doesn't bring the Germans and the Italians in. I can fight, thrive, and survive. I'll take their ships, I'll take their islands, and we'll call it a day. Just gonna declare the war. Just get stuck in. I have a small home defense force, 24 divisions, should be sufficient to defend the coastline. I'm gonna start sending out the Navy first. And then from there, we'll proceed. I'm still building up my Marines. So I've got 6 almost ready templates, not quite where I want it to be, but I am extremely handicapped in the Army Experience Department. Set the ships out and start patrolling. I do believe I have the... Oh, wow. Do you not have supply? Fuel. This fleet contains suboptimal fuel efficiency. You don't say. You know, I'll put you on strike force. I'll get the submarines out here. So my subs are all the way back in Europe. Oh well, what's another 24 infantry divisions among friends, right? A different plan could be let the Japanese overrun these islands, and if the owner is capitulated, when I capitulate the Japanese, I can take their land as well in the peace deal. So, if I don't, if I see an opportunity, I'm going to seize it with both hands. Shockingly, oh, there goes the Finns. All I've really been doing is a little bit of naval engagement. I'm already up to 10% participation against the Japanese, which is a little shocking considering I've done nothing else. These 6 guys are going to hit the coast as soon as the preparations are done. Again, template needs work. I admit I'm still hamstrung with experience though. I've actually set my navy to patrol because I have nothing really to patrol with. I am going to design, let me bring it up. I'm going to use this as a spotter. Basically a very fast, basic, almost unarmed light cruiser with radar and a bunch of float planes. So far I'm mostly sinking convoys, sinking destroyers, whatever the Japanese punt through here. It is giving me the required naval dominance to make the naval landing happen. Question now is going to be, can I take Taiwan? It depends on how many troops they have deployed. And I've also steadily gobbled up my faction. I've basically eaten everyone except for Cuba, Colombia, Nicaragua, and Dominican Republic. Well, naval invasion's on their way. Let's see if it works out for us. How are you guys doing? They'll all see. Oh, yeah. I can beat the Japanese if they're not home. You know, for that, you'll get a medal. Order of the Sword, why not? That reminds me, Colin, I know this is something you want to do. Congratulations. Off to the Marine Corps, my man. Well, I guess that secures us Taiwan. On to the next staging ground, I guess. Methinks the Japanese have used some mines. Holy shit, that's a lot of mines. I think none of my guys have demining. Yeah, well, if shit happens, it happens. Well, let's go forth and acquire Okinawa. Marines are slightly better now. 30 width, give or take. I need more support companies on them, but they'll do for this task. Let's keep boosting the army. Yeah, we're a little behind on research. I think it is really showing just how badly you start off with your 2 research slots and you're stuck with them for so long. Yeah, we will be acquiring Okinawa then. The Chinese Soviet Republic requests territory. What? No? I think not. Oh, they're trying to naval invade me. Well, fortunately for me, I do have troops in the area. Beat back the Japanese menace. Meanwhile, we will seize the Japanese islands over here. I have to say, it looks like China. It's 1942, so they're not dead. That in itself is already shocking. In any case, that is the Japanese naval landings dealt with and Okinawa secured. Yeah, they got a big ass fleet out there. And then looking back at Europe, my idea, I don't want to fight the Axis. This is going to be a pain in the ass. Holds true. But yeah, Italy's done in Italy, so that's over. The Soviets, Barbarossa just never works these last couple of patches. Now, these are not good divisions by any means. In my defense, I can't really do anything else because I still don't have a doctrine. Why? It's 1942, and I could not get any fucking army experience anywhere. All right, well, Japanese control over the mainland is collapsing entirely. I'm going to go now. I do have the control. I have the naval power to do it. I'm going to hit Nagasaki with 8 Marines. I just noticed that the organization on these guys isn't the best. Well, we'll see if it works out. If not, as always, round 2, the Navy is big enough to contest the area, so it should be fine. You know, every time this happens, I'm both relieved that I can do this, and at the same time, I'm just kind of disappointed that I can do this. I will damn well take it. It's been annoying enough as it is fighting these guys. We'll kill these guys, we'll take their boats, and we'll move on to the next step. Hopefully before Germany gives up, and that's D-Day. Yeah, we gotta hurry. There's Japan's naval command as well. Don't have a free admiral for it, but thanks, I guess. My first spotter is ready. You just patrol there. The Marines on their own are already pushing right through Japan. I just hope that we come out of this with enough participation to actually take what we want. So they're starting to put up a fight. It's just too little too late, I guess. Wish I had air, though. It would make breakthroughs feasible. Right now, I'm just kind of all over the place. Yeah, participation's not climbing as much as I would have liked. One of the good ways to get participation would be convoy raiding some more, so we'll convoy raid here. Make sure that the fleet you've got out there spotting. Make sure that fleet is set to do not engage. Their job's to find the enemy and tell their big brothers where it is. And then those guys can come fight the enemy. Oh my god. Philippine Marines are storming into Japan. Where are you? Colin, where are you? Alright, you're in there. Okay, finish the job, Colin. Tokyo has fallen to the Hispanic Empire. Why? Because nothing in this world makes sense anymore. I still can't pick a grand doctrine. It's such a pain in the ass. Yeah, Japan's as good as dead. They're not going to bounce back from this. They're still overcommitted to China, where they will now lose. 15% participation. That's really not as good as I had hoped. I don't know what I'll be able to take. Hopefully some islands? There we go. Peace deal. So, pause the game. We have taken... I got Taiwan. The Chinese are going to love that. I got Okinawa, Iwo Jima. Those can't be cored. But I also got a bunch of stuff that I can core. So I got Palau, I got the Marshall Islands, the Caroline Islands, some random bits and bobs. Basically, I checked the map, what can I core, and decided to grab that. Anyway, we're gonna get all kitted out to reinforce the home islands, get the Navy around this area to either secure this, join up with the Germans to defeat the Allies. So I would need to hold my Spanish base to launch invasions from, get my fleet over here. Deal with the US, deal with Britain, Oh, it's too much, isn't it? I'm gonna have to fight too many people all at the same time. Oh, at least I got a navy. We'll integrate that into the main navy. We'll exercise and train it some more. Do I like this? Not even a little. Do I have anything to do about it? No, not really. I'm in over my head, aren't I? Floating airfields? Sounds like something I want. So I have a bit of a conundrum. I have a war goal on the US now, because they're the overlords of Japan, so the war goal transfers. Virtually undefended. I can go in there and clean house. Unfortunately, they share a continent with Brazil. I am still shipping troops over to get that covered, and they are miles out. Yeah, now the US is actually garrisoning the border, so that brief window of opportunity to just sweep into the southern states gone. Like, despite this being the most OP path for the Philippines, it feels like it's a very weak country. So many things limit this country for far too long to be a truly enjoyable experience, even if you're doing a meme run like this. So the cap on army experience, like that reduction is crippling. It's 1943. I've edited exactly one template, spent 20 on bold attack, and I still do not have a land doctrine. Yeah, so this is over. As far as the Axis is concerned, it's over. My whole plan of assisting the Axis by just delaying the inevitable and then coming to their aid in knocking out the Allies so I could have that land I want. D-Day has reached Paris. Italy's gone. The Balkan is gone. The Russians are outside Bucharest, punching through towards Budapest. They are at Königsberg. It is effectively Jover. So fun. I'm gonna have to fight everyone, everywhere, all at once at the same time as the shitty little Philippines. I knew it. I knew this was coming. So let's buckle the fuck up and let's give it a try, shall we? Yeah, that's like total and absolute collapse of the Axis. And I can't help them. There's nothing I can do about that. Where are my idiots in Brazil? Could you please just hurry up? Oh my god, you're still in the fucking Pacific? I've given up guarding the ports in America. I don't have the divisions for any of that. I'm getting troops on the border with Brazil, getting troops on the border with these shitty little islands here in Venezuela. I shouldn't have eaten Venezuela. I've got this covered, and then I've got a big fat front line with the Americans. I think I can push them if I'm aggressive enough. I might be able to cap the US before they can pull too many troops. Every time I look back, it gets worse. On the bright side, I can finally start coring Spanish land if I so chose. So let's find out where the Spanish coal is and core the shit out of that right now, so at least we can get that. I mean, I'm fucked. No matter what happens, we're fucked. We're absolutely fucking fucked. Forgive my harsh language. I'm just gonna declare war on the Americans. I'm not gonna call my allies in. I'm immediately launching a very aggressive offensive into the US itself. With the US out, or at least committed here, it will be a big distraction. We'll see what happens there. So no generals. They're on their own. Jose. We'll try to push these guys back, though. No promises. Still working on the fucking artillery. Of course I am. How is this looking? Not too hot, but I think we'll be able to push. Again, I have no doctrines, which is really my main problem. At least the army does have some nice bonuses by now. Like more org, more output, max planning, yada yada yada. The bonuses are nice, don't get me wrong, but I very much feel like it is... it's too little, too late. It takes too long. But we're almost through. We've taken Gibraltar, or we will take Gibraltar. Huzzah. For the time being, I'm going to have to use the Marines to, I don't know, just secure the area for a bit. Over here, we'll try to stem the tide. There's going to be so much bearing down on us. Sure, I'll do a flamethrower tank. What else am I going to do? Well, that is going to make all or most of my trade collapse. That is unfortunate, so there's no coal to be had anywhere. You know what? I'm going to counter push and see if I can drive you into the sea. Guys, see if we can get that naval base. It's just one armor division. We might be able to push it off. Once they stop attacking, counterattack, see if we can roll this back. How long does that even take? 70 days. I don't like that. Let's try to go around them wherever possible. Create encirclements, punch through there, head to LA. Los Angeles. If I can go around them, grab major victory points, supply hubs, force them to their knees. But it's too many fronts to fight on all at once, and it's a little annoying. I've taken Port of Spain, so that secures another beachhead for me. Yes, okay, we'll walk these guys into Georgetown. And that is the first encirclement here sorted out. It's not much, but it's honest work. Head to Dallas. Ooh, punch north. There's a supply hub over there. Keep heading north. Keep heading north. Go around. And we're trying our very best to help the Germans now, but it's in Europe. It is effectively over at this point. Well, at least we're getting some pockets out of this. The US is hurting at least. It's the best I can offer. There is no way for me to Georgetown, so the jungles, it's just really hard to punch through there unless you get... maybe I got lucky. Did I get lucky? No, not really, because they're still there. They're still attacking. Unit left, I'll take it. We've got naval combat going around the home island. Yeah, I'm beating the little fleets they're sending out, but I'm afraid that the moment I meet an actual navy, I'm gonna get fucked. I think I might be able to capitulate them. I do wish I had some more divisions to make it happen. At least I've taken Los Angeles. I can take up my dream of becoming a podcaster. Ooh, I can get my first doctrine. A grand doctrine, grand battle plan. It is the very obvious choice. After which I'm probably grabbing large unit tactics. It is simply sweet baby great. Yeah, the war in Europe's basically pointless. The war in America is where it's at. Oh yeah, I'm getting all of my convoys raided, combat casualties, so we're gonna have no war support. Maybe if I get the San Miguel brewery. That one might be nice. But they're so far down the tree. And it just takes too long to get this country fixed. Well, Brazil is in, so let the entire continent burn for all I care. This is truly such a mess. If I can at least knock out the US and maintain my European base. If I can do that, I suppose there's a chance of something that looks and smells like a victory. How are repairs coming along? Not too bad, I guess. Not too bad. Can I start to actually produce some good airplanes yet? I guess it's... Yeah, I'm not using a bunch of these factories, mostly because I don't have the resources. I'm gonna finally spin up some airplane production. You can scream at me all you want later. I did what I had to do to not lose my mind. Okay. Is it the best airplane possible? Hell no. It's a little bit outdated, actually. I am very much out of ideas. Let's just make something. Coal. There's basically no way for me to get coal. Same with aluminum. Aluminium. I'm gonna have to fall back here. Are my other troops ready yet? Ready-ish. So that is 48 divisions. Let's send them over there to take on that line. Again, they're gonna have to go via sea, which is amazing, which makes this whole campaign so much worse now that I cannot rely somewhat on the Germans. All this army combat, and it doesn't feel like we're getting all that much experience. As far as the east is concerned, let's get Nouveau Orléans encircled, and then we'll overrun that as well. All of my convoys are gone. Why are all of my convoys gone? Using them for naval resupply. Oh, of course I'm using them for naval resupply. Where do I even build the dockyards? Might as well build them in Mexico. Oh, this is so bad. This is so bad. At least we've taken a nice chunk out of the United States. I can't even get generals, man. Please, just give me the generals of the countries you eat. Please, moderate. I really want to like this so much, but I can't. The longer I play, the more angry I get. Well, it's all over. The Axis have just capitulated. I had foreseen this. The French are going to be like a major power. Giggity. I don't want to deal with any of this. I might advance a little bit just to like grab some cities and some local supply, I suppose. The US is almost dead, but there's almost is not good enough. I am feeling very underwhelmed. Oh, that's my flag! You've stolen my flag! I thought, oh no, they sunk a carrier. Well, a carrier has sunk, yeah. It's a Japanese one. Well, okay then. Well, that's one. There goes fucking Canada. The US is next, so yay. The little bright spot in all this is the Navy's doing really well. It's really fending everything off quite admirably. We're sinking a bunch of stuff. So this is finally starting to pick up, but the army is still shit. So the US has finally capitulated. They're out. As soon as I get a little bit more manpower, I'm going to set up Marines and Rangers, and we're going to go on a little campaign until we can form Mafilindo. So I'm ready to launch my invasion of Borneo. The Marines are going to have to make that work. In Europe, well, that's America. In America, things are fine. Got the Brazilians, except for, like, this little holdout. I can't really push there because of the jungles. I need dedicated jungle troops for it. Don't have them. Europe is fucked. I could not hold Spanish Africa. This is lost to me now. Long ago, also lost Palma de Mallorca. Got one army guarding the ports. Everyone else is on Franco's little fort line here. The allies aren't really attacking, so yay. There is that. Fortunately, the Navy is doing really well in defending myself. I've sunk most of whatever Japan had left. We're gonna need to work on engineers as well. I have a lot of stuff that I'm gonna need to work on, if I'm honest. But at least we'll be able to still secure the land, just via different means. Not the cleanest campaign, but that is the last holdouts in Burma. Hispanic Empire controls and has cored all of it. And now the rest. Oh my god, I need all of them. This was a big pocket, by the way. It's like 20 divisions. So the way I got him was to attack up to Kuching. I got completely stonewalled, decided to fall back to this river here, and then quick naval invasion from Brunei to Kuching while the army left to pursue my troops. Worked miraculously well, as you can see by the encirclement. Not my proudest moment, but I've been shouting at the scream every now and then. Just so unreasonably angry with the course of events. So at this point, I just want the game to be over. I haven't had fun in hours. I'm not having fun now. And now the Soviet Union wants Alaska. You know what? I actually don't care that much. But if the US still held Alaska at this point, this would be where they could do the funny thing. If they're not going to do the funny thing, are they? If I say no, they're just gonna attack me so they can have that fucking piece of land. I don't care. I can barely supply these troops because I technically no longer have convoys. All of the convoys are being used to bring what little resources I actually extract back to the Philippines because nothing is connected to land, meaning every single one of my stupid boats gets sunk on the way. I think that's the biggest indictment of this campaign that I can level. I no longer give a shit about this game. I don't want to play anymore. This is not fun. At least this stuff is still fun. Now, landed my Marines near Surabaya. Got the nice big fat encirclement out of it. Everything else is like, just look at what they've got stacked here. I'm never gonna be able to take that. My incredibly deep reserves of equipment have incredibly run out. I was a cold defender at the start, but the more I play campaigns like these and disaster saves, I'm realizing this is a fucking joke. This implementation just does not work. 1200 coal for my production to work. Dude, come on, man. Another naval invasion. They get around the roadblocks, and then, you know, they put up more and stupider roadblocks every single time. But we're getting through step by incredibly bloody step. The upside of these late-game Allies games is just the massive pockets you get just by playing the game. You aren't even putting in all that much brain effort. After a while, there's just so many divisions on every tile that it becomes hard not to just create massive pockets. Anyway, with that, we should secure Dutch East Indies. Then I'll just need to take British Malaya, Massacre, where they have 1 billion divisions as well, the Moluccas, and West Papua. And so concludes the campaign for Sumatra. Casualties are horrific, 2.38 for me. I have, however, inflicted 20 million casualties on the enemy, both through naval effort and a very staunch defense in Spain. They've kind of stopped attacking now that I've converted the majority of this army into my big lads. I've just made use of the fact that I have that combat width reduction in one of my doctrines, and, you know, everything's stacked. This is just amazing. This is brilliant, and I'm gonna run roughshod over the AI. If I wanted to, I think I could battle plan Europe. It would be needlessly costly and not get me much. We've gotten all of this. I've actually cored most of it. Let's core that little bit as well. Huzzah! Soviets have declared war on American Japan. Why? I don't know why, but they've done it. That does mean the Soviets are going to go in on the Allies. Good for me. That's going to cause a massive distraction. We might actually be able to finish the campaign after all. It only took them until 1946 to do it. If this line thins out with them redeploying to the Soviet front, I am going to do what I said I was going to do. I'm going to battle plan my way up north. That is going to be 120 big lads walking all over Europe, boys. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, they've evacuated the front. In that case, big lads forward. We are taking Europe by storm. It's gonna be a three-way war, baby. The Hispanic coalition will fight side by side with our Soviet brothers in the Comintern. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's beautiful. Fucking beautiful. The counterattack. I could join the Comintern on a meme. Still eat Honduras, Cuba, and I could ask Ecuador, Panama, and Haiti to join me. Let's improve relations with these guys. See if they'll see the light and join my party. No, Honduras, no. I must insist. Don't fight it. Just let it happen. It's fine. You'll barely feel this. Are we finally pushing this, guys? Finally getting something done here? The big lads are just frog marching their way through Europe. I was in a state of despair. I was saved by Stalin. This is just a giant pain in the ass. It's not worth fighting over Massacre, but I have to take it eventually. Let's go looking back at Europe. Oh, it's gonna be costly, but these guys are barely taking casualties as well. They're so big, they got a lot of strength to them. Look at them go. Yes, we're just running roughshod over the French. All we needed was a good distraction. Now back over here, let's launch a naval invasion of Malaya as well. It would appear this is quite well fortified. We've taken the Dutch enclave south of Singapore, and then we'll take Singapore itself. That gives us the beachhead we need, and then from there we roll up the peninsula. Hell yeah. It's not even costing me that much in terms of casualties. Yeah, number go up. Sure, I'm taking casualties, but not in a meaningful way. Oh, there goes British Malaya. That solves that issue. Beautiful access to resources and all that good stuff. Yes. Now we must drive on to Massacre. Come on. Victory must be achieved at all costs. We are so back. Look at that Navy. I'm having a lot of fun with the Navy. It has sunk significant numbers of stuff. Just not the big ships yet. Look at it and rejoice, my brethren. There go the French. Soviets have already lost 1.5 million men. They're doing a lot of fighting and dying just so I can benefit from this. And I think I just taken Massacre as well. We're down to the Moluccas and this bit. You know, let's quickly get some cores on that bit. I just need to control the last Indonesian states then. Okay. The chickens have come home to roost. The glorious Hispanic army has swept across. Oh my God. They've just swept across Europe alongside Stalin's hordes, and I barely took casualties. Yes, I'll admit, like, the Allies super distracted, but these divisions, boys, I have seen the light of the big lads, and I will forever now go to war with the big lads. 'Cause damn, son. Get ready to knock out the UK, because all I really need to kill now is the United Kingdom and American Japan. And then we go forth and threaten Japan. Another naval invasion. And I think with that, we'll take Aru Island. Yes, sir! There we go! I will form Mafilindo. The Hispanic Empire has formed into the Federation of Malayan Peoples. And do we still have our Hispanic cores? We have all of our Hispanic cores still. This is a beautiful, beautiful day. And now this allows us to integrate more shit. Are you kidding me? Burma, Indochina, and Siam. I'm not integrating all of that, but we do have the option to do so. And I can change my name again. I can get a new flag and a new name once again. Sorry, Juan. No Spain for you, for the Federation of Malayan Peoples. All right, another invasion of Kyushu. Let's see if this one sticks. Yeah. Let's halt and reorg. I forgot that they've basically had 3 or 4 years to do nothing but train troops and deploy them on the home islands. Maybe we'll exercise these guys and bring them in, and next time we'll have a better run at it, I think. Oh well, but at least we have finished Masters of the Pacific, and I am now the Austronesian Commonwealth. Well, the color's slightly better. The name doesn't really roll off the tongue, though. I'll take it. There we go. Plan B. Not as successful as I would have liked. They've got so many units stacked on Nagasaki, but I was able to land next to Nagasaki. Attack into Nagasaki now. That's a peasant. Okay. Nagasaki taken after all. Huzzah. Glorious. And we'll bring in the troops. The big boys coming in. I've exchanged my jungle troops for these absolute mad lads, along with these 8 magnificent marines, and we will overrun these islands. If we can get that airbase, we can get some air in. With air, we have the potential to at least do something. All systems green. Go, 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 go. At least if and when Japan falls, I can divert my full and undivided attention onto the UK. The infantry's so good now. Every airbase I take, I can throw up a little bit more fighters, a little bit more CAS. We're out trading them, so the quality edge is ours as well. The big lads are gonna go for broke now. This is actually not a bad showing as far as CAS is concerned. I've only got like 300 CAS up. Come on, storm Tokyo. There's too many Japanese here. We'll take Tokyo and then mop up the remains. And that should be the end of that. If Yokohama falls, they're dead, Jim. American, Japan, out of action. Good thing too. Holy shit, am I done? Alright, these boys all head on over to Europe, which is a very long way away, and immediately start planning the naval invasion. So the Navy is in the channel. We're gonna butcher whatever they have here, or try to. Air Force, such as it is, we are now going to commit to the fight for the last bastion. England. Let's see if we can get... Ooh, they sunk a heavy... basic cruiser. Oh well. Swarm me now. I think we're gonna come out of this. Yeah, we're gonna come out on top. There we go. Got fighters fightering and a naval invasion, naval invading. These doughty marines led by Cullen will seize Dover, and from Dover it will all be over. Yeah, boy! Okay, we've landed. We've landed. The rest of the troops in. Battle plan away. We need to be aggressive, grab as much land as we can, get the CAS overhead as well. We are not trading favorably, but we are horribly outnumbered. If I dump these guys in, will it just be supply death? Maybe, but let's take a look. I do have the supply lines open. I have multiple ports. I should be able to keep this this moving. Oh, the air war is not looking pretty though. Yeah, I've got no air designer, which doesn't help. Okay, we're making it work with the supply we have, and now that all of our big lads are in. I would like to take Bristol. I know that no one's ever wanted to go to Bristol before, but I swear I really do. It's just the UK, and then we'll get a peace deal, and I can finally go back to my life. This game, this single run has consumed way too much of my time already. Yes, you can break my cipher. It's not gonna help you. God, I have seen the light of large unit tactics, and I will be its willing prophet. There we go. It's finally over. I have the majority of the score, so I can take what I want. And what I want is everything I can theoretically, technically core. So we will be grabbing a lot of land in the Southeast Pacific, Asia, whatever, and call it a day. Well, for better or for worse, let's see what we managed to cook up here, because this was one pain in the ass peace deal. Well, at least the game didn't crash. We have won the war. Huzzah, we've liberated our territory. We could defeat communism. Yes. Expanded the military. Yes. Okay, so at the conclusion of that, we have a massive Hispanic coalition. We dominate North and South America. For some reason, Costa Rica is defiant. Okay. We've puppeted the Austronesian North American territories, as well as the provinces of Canada and the Austronesian Britain. Basically, I took everything I could and I had to split a little bit with the communists. I think we will also be able to integrate Burma. Huzzah! More cores for the core gods. Anyway, we do have a bunch of territories, a bunch of cores, and one hell of a flag. And funny thing, I went shopping in that I gobbled up the remaining fleets that I saw lying around. apparently the AI builds new ships now, because that is a level 4 advanced carrier. Took that off the Japanese, and they got the Yamato and the Musashi, as one would expect, but they got an ice carrier, a Habakkuk ice carrier, the Hiryu, with, you know, 10 scout planes on it, but that's an ice carrier, baby. So, the Austro... Who am I again? The Association of Southeast Asian Nations is, bigly and huge. So before we got this short, I want to say a big apology to Mordred for my crash outs. Focus tree needs some work, but I was overly harsh. I just completely lost the plot there. Anyway, I hope you guys at least enjoyed this video and enjoyed my pain throughout it. And you can enjoy Juan III, the Navy King of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Anyway, if you like this video, please reward my suffering with a subscription and a like. It helps out the channel a lot. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.